Patrick Beatty Reviews, the #1 for news. It's Patrick Beatty Reviews, #1 for news. Yeah. Tune in, get up. Yeah, what's up?
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
What is up, my gaggly geeks? Time to talk about Mortal Kombat. Just wanted to have an echo in that. I don't know. It's better to say that than just be like, Mortal Kombat. This is directed by Simon McQuoid and follows MMA fighter Cole Young, played by Lewis Tan, who is thrust into the world of Mortal Kombat, where a team of champions are chosen by a dragon marking in order to fight and protect Earth and the universe itself. Fans of the video game adaptation kind of know a lot of the story with this, and with audiences, this is going to be a lot to kind of give them. A lot of exposition, a lot of explaining what they're actually jumping into with this. And if you watch the previous two films, which if you've watched the previous two films and not played the video game ever, what kind of weird are you? You see many characters from the video games, a lot of characters that are just Easter eggs that show up, pop in and out, and you got a lot of fighting, a lot of violence, a lot of gore, a lot of swearing, some humor throughout, and an overall fairly serious tone, which might work for some people and might not work for others. First off, the fighting is the best part to me. The blood, the gore, the violence, the way that they were able to use the fighting and the R rating to really emphasize the blood and gore that you've loved from the video games, from when you were a kid and you were watching a pixelated spine be ripped out of a person, and your mom walks down and sees you and is terrified and is like, son, what have you become? That's not from speaking from experience or anything. If you've never played the video game and you've watched this movie, you have a fairly good idea of what the video games are. Most, if not all, of the main characters are returning in this film, aside from a few big ones, which we'll get into. Also, the special effects, though this film was a little bit of a small budget, ended up being fairly well, especially when it comes to characters like Sub-Zero, which in this film, ooh, he is menacing. He even feels like a Terminator at some points, just an unstoppable force. The way they're able to utilize the frost, the ice, the way that they're able to utilize other characters' abilities is really well done, and I do applaud all of the special effects in this. Cole Young is a new character, and based off of the writer Greg Russo, who stated that it was added in before he had even gotten onto the project to have this main character be a new character introducing everybody into the world of Mortal Kombat. He had a lot to do as far as being a new character, also introducing a flood more of characters and sacrificing some characters for this new one, Cole. I think the performance by Lewis Tan, for the most part, is actually fairly well done. I think the character, though, in itself didn't need to exist because there's just so many other characters that you could just put in his place. We know specifically which character I'm talking about that could be swapped into this and be interchangeable, but there's one specific reason that it wasn't, and that's because of the character of Kano. Now, Kano, if you know from the video games, basically he's just an Australian piece of shit. Mortal Kombat chose to take Kano's character, make him more comedic, which to me just didn't work. If you're gonna do that, make sure that whatever Kano is saying, whatever he's doing, isn't gonna just immediately turn off the audience to the character. But unfortunately for me, he did. Overacting, hamming performances, cheesing it up in scenes where everybody else just didn't seem to. It didn't seem like anyone was on the same wavelength as this actor. The strongest emotional threads with this film come between Scorpion and Sub-Zero. They've already released the first 7 minutes of the film. You can check it out anywhere on YouTube. And in that, they tell a little bit of the origin story of Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and those emotional connections are very strong and are strewn throughout the film. It's very useful, and they use it in a very good way. Though it kind of seems like it wraps up fairly quickly, there's still a lot of action, there's still a lot of gore, there's fatalities that you know, there's some maybe that you're gonna be very surprised that they did, that you're gonna be excited for. Also, the tone, I feel, could have been lightened up a little bit in the parts where it was just out, completely ridiculous, out the window. Just lean more into it. Be more like Godzilla vs. Kong, where they lean more into the silliness. I do believe that they did towards the end, and I'm very excited to see if there ends up being more movies made, if this is successful, what they do with the silliness going forward, and really bringing in more of the Mortal Kombat craziness that we, the video game people that love it, and the fans that haven't been experienced with it, or the non-fans, will love. But overall, Mortal Kombat is much more improved than the previous two attempts, and even more interesting than some of the video game storylines. Mortal Kombat is a fairly entertaining film, but in no ways is it a flawless victory. I'm giving Mortal Kombat a 7 out of 10. So guys, what did you think of Mortal Kombat? Whatever you thought, leave a comment down below. Check out Gaggly Geeks this Friday, where we're going to be talking about spoilers for all of this Mortal Kombat film. Thanks again as always for watching, and I will see you at the next review.